on Deardorff, ready to go. Say you're using a 121 on an 8x10, which is pretty wide. You can lock that in standard mode. You've still got control over the focusing here. So once you've achieved your focal length that you required, I've got a standard on here, but if it was a wide angle lens, you focus up under the cloth and you can still apply camera movements, tilt, and you have rise, which is useful on a wide angle lens, and maybe if you wanted you could have a little bit of swing, just enough for a wide angle lens. Certainly it's a little bit restricted because the bellows are compressed, but on a wide angle you don't need much movement. The really nice feature I like about this camera is that the 8x10 back has a spring loaded mechanism inside, and essentially what that does is allows you to use a different format, which I carry here, and this is really neat. We have a 5x8 inch film shape and a 4x10 inch, which is a lovely shape for panoramic landscapes. And basically what these do, they go inside the camera. It's a really neat thing. I've seen it on no other camera and I really like using it. A really neat thing is when you use the full rise mode on the lens board, like so. The centre of the lens is the centre of the 4x10 format, which means effectively you got a wide angle kind of format, all centred, all square, just by doing that one simple action alone. So you shoot that side, make your exposure, turn the film around, and for something really special you then obviously load the film in from the other side. You've got another exposure, so you've got two exposures on one sheet of 8x10 film. So again, it's really nice and snug, works really well, and you'll agree that's a lovely landscape shape again to work with. And once again, if we just raise the front standard, we're pretty much centred. We're pretty much centred on the centre of the film plane once again, so the camera's all square, and we've got a 5x8 camera, or a 4x10 camera, or ultimately an 8x10 camera. Really, really neat. Love that option. And I've seen it on no other camera design. Say you wanted to make a portrait with a 5x8 format, which you get two exposures. You'll notice if I open the lens up here, the centre of the lens is obviously in the centre of the camera. There's no shift on this camera, just swing and tilt. So we have to get the centre of the lens plane moved over to the centre of the 5x8 format. And again, I'll just show you very quickly, there's a neat little way to do that. If we put some swing on, both front and back standard. So basically, if I just take the back off, you'll now notice that the lens has moved from centre to the centre of the half sheet. So basically we've now got a 5x8 format camera in vertical format for doing something like a portrait or a landscape. I'll just share one story about the Deardorff Camera. When I worked in London as an advertising photographer, as an assistant, to a great advertising photographer. He told me a lovely story. He'd gone to see the Gandolfi brothers. He'd gone to have a 5.4 camera made by Gandolfi back in the day. This is talking probably late 70s, and the conversation went something like this: why on earth, this is Fred Gandolfi, Cockney, why on earth would anybody want to buy a metal camera, that you have to change the monorail to a short length, a medium length or a long length? You know, it's like buying a motor car and you've got to change the gearbox every time you go up a hill or down a hill. It made me chuckle, but the great thing about this camera is that it all is so compact and beautifully designed. You've got everything you need in one neat, compact little case. Absolutely fantastic.